Good morning. I was just thinking about something. I was thinking about and actually, I stole the original idea, the brilliance as my father's. He used to always say that teachers make you want to need them so that they feel important. And that's what I used to feel about school all the time. I'd think, this subject is so easy, but the way they're teaching it, they're making it hard, but it's so they feel needed. And it made them they feel smarter than you because, well, for instance, I didn't want to get off on this tangent, but in my music theory class, everybody was getting a really bad grade and they thought it was hard. It was advanced theory. It was counterpoint. And um, then the teacher noticed that their homework started looking like I had written it. And she got mad at me. She's like, "Are you doing everyone's homework?" Because everybody was failing. And I was like, "No, I just taught them how to do it properly. You're making it really confusing. And on top of that, you teach something other than the classroom assignment, the textbook that you've assigned. It doesn't say the exact same thing." Anyway, so my whole point is that a lot of times it's how the teacher has that they make things confusing. I used to have that problem in algebra. I got bad grades in it, but it wasn't because I couldn't do the work, because I knew it and I did it. It was so easy. It's just I didn't pay attention in class when the teacher was talking so she wouldn't confuse me. And then I'd do the homework and I wouldn't have to show the work because I could do it in my head. It was so easy. And she asked me to show the work, and so I showed the work and I got points taken off even more because I didn't do it properly. I was like, that's an example of people just trying to make things difficult and complicated. So while I was talking about that, I realized, you know what? That's why I overshare so often. Because I have a very, very good teacher who takes everything and makes everything very simple. And when people say ideas like the ones that I'm taught, I'm like, oh, I love that. And people say, oh, yeah, they just always take hard things and make them easy. That's just what they do. I'm like, well, that's how I understand things. Oh, I was going to tell you two of the things that I was just taught that I thought were pretty cool. One was I was sitting in my daughter was complaining and screaming and saying this. She was just being belligerent and disobedient. And I was trying to teach her that her job is to be obedient. It's not to think of what is right, because sometimes people won't tell her the right thing, but her job, the thing that she'll be held accountable for, is if she does what they told her. And anyway, I was standing outside. She kept asking for someone to come up because she didn't want to be alone in the bathroom. And I told her, just get out of the tub now, let the water out. And I already put the clothing in there and I put the towels folded up right there for her within range. And she refused to get out because nobody would come up and kept screaming, "Mom, Mom, come up." And so I came up, but I didn't tell her. And so I was hiding outside the bathroom door. I know she's heard me because my balance isn't so good. So I'm not as quiet and sneaky as I used to be. So I was pretty sure she heard me, but I was sitting there thinking, this is like me. So often I complain and will not do something because I don't want to be alone, when really she wasn't alone. I was right there. I mean, I was like so close I could have reached out and touched her. But she didn't see me because there's like there's the vanity and a wall and then the bathtub and shower. She was inside the bathtub and the shower and I was behind this wall. And I'm just standing there and that thought came to me, and that's what I was taught that time. It's like, well, just do things and don't worry about whether or not you have support, because you do. There's somebody waiting right there behind the door. And I was like, I am right here. She was screaming, "Mom, I am not going to get out." And she was crying. And I wanted to tell her, I am right here. All you have to do is let the water out and get out. Okay, second thing. Hang on, I'm trying to remember it. It was just so silly. That's why I forgot it, probably. It's probably nothing that you care to hear about anyway, but I'll tell you nonetheless. There was a game that I played, and quite often I play it, and you I even hate saying this because it makes me look like a dumb teenage kid because I'm like an old woman. I should not be playing teenage boy games. Okay. It's a game with equipment. It's mostly for strategy is why I like to play it. My son always says, yeah, mom knows logic. Anyway, you have to upgrade your artifacts, which is what they call your equipment, like your gear, like your chest plate, your gauntlets, your boots, things like that. But if you try to upgrade them, it might not. And at first, your chance of getting it upgraded is certain. You will. So you upgrade it to a certain point, and then you're like, well, am I going to keep upgrading it when it won't upgrade? I've done it like 5 times. What makes me think it's going to happen the next time? When I read a license plate, I don't remember where I saw it. It said, the definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And I was like, well, that's just crazy. But I'll do it one more time, and you know what? It worked. And the same thing, I was fixing my sink. We were just studying the prophet Nephi and how he was commanded to build a boat. And it was hard. Or I can give any of the number of things like how he needed to get food for his family and his boat broke. Or the fact that he had to go back to get the plates of brass and it didn't work out. Well, anyway, that's where I felt. My bathroom is flooding and I was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I've already tried everything. And I got this idea, you should do this thing. I was like, I've already tried that. It didn't work, and I'm not insane. I'm like, wait, yes, maybe I am insane. And so I went back and I tried it. Didn't work. I was like, see, I knew it wouldn't work. But then, that's when I had that tutor. Says, well, you know, like on the game, when you tried to upgrade your equipment and it didn't work, you tried one more time and it did. So keep trying it because you can't just leave your bathroom flooding. You have to fix it. And I was like, okay, so I tried one last time and it worked. Strange. Yeah, it did work. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Anyway, and my thought instantly was, well, share that. So I'm a little bit reluctant to share it, but there you go. If you don't do things, just came into my mind, another thing I remembered. There was a lady who came up to me. People always just come up to me and tell me things, and I think, why is that significant? I don't know, maybe it'll be significant to you, so I'll tell you. She came up to me and she says, you know, don't give up because things don't work. She said that it was somebody in her family she was praying for, had some situation anyway, and she said, and nothing was working. And nothing was working, and then they died. And she's like, well, they're dead now anyway. Why do I need to worry about them anymore? But she got this feeling to keep working on just, if anything, just express concern for this person. And she kept doing it. And she says, you know what? It was the fact that I kept doing it. She says, I'm sure that it probably won't make much of a difference to them. I think it probably will. But she said, but it made a lot of difference for me. The fact that I knew that I didn't give up. And I was like, okay, that's a good story. Next. Anyway, so those are my 2 stories. The one about my daughter in the bathtub, and the one about not giving up and cleaning the flood in the bathroom. Now I gotta go finish making Valentine's Day cookies. Bye! Happy Valentine's Day.